All right, ladies and gentlemen, here in this video, we're going to do an analysis here on gold and my future price projections here on gold. We're going to begin with the top-down analysis, of course, just so you understand where ultimately my directional biases has originated from. Not just in theory, but actually on the charts. All right, so here's the monthly time frame. I'm gonna get right into it. Here's the monthly time frame. Today is August 26, 2021. So we're gonna start over here from the left. I'm gonna go ahead and start at this lowest point here. And for the record, this right here is ultimately the lowest point recorded on my current chart. Well, current broker, so forth. So let's go ahead and drop that right there. Give me just a moment. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and drop that there for the supportive area. All right, here is my first broke point. Resistance. Now those are way low numbers. As you see, that's 1336. So, that was back in 2018. All right, those resistance, once broken, of course, it became support. So we'll leave that yellow. Here's another one, boom. All right, we'll keep moving up. Again, remember to get my line straight like this, I'm just copying and paste. There's a peak. Ultimately, this is the highest point. So we'll go ahead and make that yellow because it's yet to be broken. All right, so now we'll go ahead and come back down. All right, go back up. All right, so that leaves us here with what we're looking at here on the monthly time frame. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Ultimately, we're going to be focusing mainly, of course, prioritizing this area here. All right, so now didn't mean to drop that. Let's go ahead and go to the weekly. Now here on the weekly, inside my boxes and levels and ranges that I've created up the monthly time frame. Give me just a moment. All right, so you see what we have now here on our weekly chart is clearly that we now have a lot of pressure, bearish, pointing from here. All right, here's overall a downtrend. Here's a retracement. Here's a downtrend. This is a what? ABCD pattern. We went over this several times. So what I see here on gold ultimately is an ABCD pattern just based off the weekly chart. I can go ahead and pull a Fibonacci, swing high, swing low. Boom, I got a retracement to my 50. All right, I got a retracement to my 50, and now we're heading back down. Also, I got indications that we have broken a trend line, that in the upward swing, ultimately, we do know that this was the all-time high for gold. All right, a retest to it. All right, A, B, B, C, D. All right, there's also a harmonic that can be painted in here. So just for the record, I'll go ahead and paint that out here too. So here's the A to B, C, D. Now we would just need to pull out our expansions, pull it from A to B, B, C, and D would bring us into our expansions down here in this area. All right, so with that being said, most likely we were looking at this type of harmonic pattern. Something like this in nature. All right, which will ultimately just bring us back to this supported zone here. All right, so this is what we're looking at gold. Ultimately, I'm in a sell position here on gold. As you see, I'm in a short position. And if you would like to see where I would like to take profit, it's most likely going to be down here in the 1496, 1492. Crystal Columbus sells the ocean blue, they say. So that's my target, right around there, 1492 or whatever. I might be wrong about that, Christopher Columbus. I don't know what they, but just sounded good. Sounded like a song. But anyway, down here in this area, so anywhere after the 61.8 retracement, 1650, down in here, 1502, maybe down in this range, if it comes back all the way to point A. So we'll see what happens. But overall, my target is down in that area. And that is my analysis on gold. Thank you for tapping in. All right, just to get a little bit more in depth on my gold analysis, taking the analysis from the previous video, now looking at this, we're gonna go into the intraday and see exactly why I took this position right here at that very moment. Okay, we're gonna go into the daily chart here on the daily time frame. I'm gonna keep the pattern that we drew up here in line, but here we go to the daily chart and we're looking at the pattern. We don't really have to focus on too much out here because we've already done that on the higher time frames. Now we're just gonna key in on what's really going on right here. So just to get started, I'm gonna take care of this movement here. I'm gonna go ahead and break this all the way down. So follow me. Okay, we're gonna start right here. We got a low. We're gonna hit that, knock that out. Go ahead and make sure that's gonna be nice and smooth. All right, we're gonna hit this. Make sure it's nice and smooth. All right, now we're gonna hit this, make sure it's nice and smooth. All right, ultimately this blue, of course, is resistance. So that blue is support. So let's change this color to, let's do green. All right, that's gonna be your resistance. Oh no, I'll make it red. I don't want to throw anybody off. All right, so there we got what we're looking at on the, this actually needs to be here. And we'll go ahead and leave this one here as resistance, because that's ultimately where I see price coming back down to. So you'll see why I put that there once we get to some more lower time frames, but ultimately I put it there because of this situation here. All right, so now from here, let's take it down a notch, going to the 4 hour. Here on the 4 hour, this is what we're looking at. Again, we have the indications based on my automated trend lines. Of course, they're showing us a trend line down. We are now seeing what I would like to consider a head and shoulders pattern forming. Shoulder, head, shoulder. All right, so now as we're down in this area, let's go ahead and break this 4 hour chart down. I would start with this point over here because it's very significant right now. All right, so we're gonna hit that right there. All right, now we're gonna zoom in just a little bit. And I'm tighten that level up. We also have a level here. So ultimately, my stop is literally going to be right here. All right, so now looking at this 4 hour chart, you can kind of see what I see now a little more clear. This 4 hour head and shoulders forming. And we're at 1799 right now. So here we had a base support, but likely will come crashing all the way down here. And we'll do a recap on what we see here once this move completes. I believe it'll complete by Labor Day, before September, before mid-September. So maybe next week we'll see this we'll see this move play out. So I am swinging this position. I'll be swinging this position probably until like I said, until we hit that target down here. 1719 minimum is my ultimate swing intraday target. But overall, for this entire move, I'm looking for price to come down here to the 1500, back down here to the 1500. All right, so ultimately, here's the position where I took today. As you see down, once we get into the intraday positions down here in the 30-minute, we can see how this position here has held high for the past 3 days. I originally had buy intentions from this area, so I got in. Of course, I got stopped out about right here. So now I came back and reanalyzed it and saw what's actually really going on. They're not going long. All right, so they're not going to go long. Let's just put that out there. So ultimately, of course, we have this upswing here that we're in now. They did paint a nice W here, but now that they're here, they're going to do that and come and clean this W out. Won't be a W anymore. All right, so as you see, I entered at the high of the day. Now getting into the 15-minute chart, you can see here how the position I entered is at the retest really of this high of the day. This current pattern is painting out a W. So depending on how soon you watch this video, you might be able to enter with me. So just for the record, this position is about 1791. So, and just for visual purposes and educational purposes, since you guys are right here with me, let's go ahead and do another position here. And this is, like I said, I am going short on these positions. and those are at $17.99. So depending on how soon you see this video, you may be able to enter in right there with me. But again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm down on the 15-minute chart. Let's go into the 5. Let's break it down even more. Here's the 5-minute chart. As you see, we have a perfect hanging man pattern. Lovely. Lovely. All right. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Happy trading.